This is the new Citroen C3. It's the cheapest electric car currently on sale.
Matt, the Dacia Spring is cheaper.
It's the second cheapest electric car currently on sale. Starting at £22,000 though, it's not exactly dead cheap, is it? But then that's electric cars for you. So what exactly are you getting for your money? A car that's cheap and cheerful, or a car that's cheap and nasty? I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Carwow. Full disclosure, this car isn't actually £22,000 because it's the range-topping Max model. It's actually £23,700. Thankfully though, the reality is it costs £22,700 because if you buy it through Carwow, you can save an average of £1,000 off it. Now, in terms of the design, I think it looks easily £22,000 worth of car. I like the overall design here at the front. These shapely headlights, which are all LED, by the way, they're cool. You've got real air breathers there. You can alter the colour of this stripe here. It's 3 different colours depending on the exterior paint. I like the shapely bonnet as well. It's smart. The only thing I don't like is the new Citroen logo. Looks like corporal stripes. Now, I want my car to be a sergeant. Sorry, corporals. From the side though, this car's a little bit more nondescript. Yes, you get contrasting roof, which you can either have in this black or in white. You get roof bars that say Citroen on them. Also, if you look at the trim around the wheel, it's got the Citroen logo. Wheel sizes, 17 inches, regardless of which model you go for, which are quite small these days. And you also have the little kind of colour accent on that rear pillar. Now, more on that later. Let's check out the back. It's a little bit more distinctive from this angle. I like it, just like at the front. Now, one of the features I should point out is that if you get the range-topping version, the tail lights have LED diffuse lighting. Hit the brake, let's have a look at it with the brake lights on. Oh, quite nice. Once again though, not so sure about the corporal badge there. But overall, I do think that this is quite a smart looking car. And it looks more expensive than it actually costs. But there's something you need to know. You see, you can get a petrol version of this car. It's got a 1.2 litre engine, it's got 100 horsepower, and it costs from £18,000. Now this electric version, it has 113 horsepower. So you're effectively paying £4,000 more for just 30 more horsepower. Now the 0 to 60 on the petrol is 10.6 seconds. I'm going to find out the 0 to 60 on this electric version, see if it's vastly different, see if you get your money's worth. So let's find out now. I'm going to launch it. There is no launch control. I'm just going to floor the throttle. That was leisurely. But now we're going. What are we going to do? Are you worth £4,000? Yeah, 9.76. It's quite a bit quicker than Citroen claim. That's the thing, electric cars, they really do just put their power down well and pull hard. Would you pay £4,000 for a, I don't know, an improvement of 0 to 60 of like 0.8 of a second over what the petrol's supposed to do? Though to be fair, that kind of performance element doesn't tell the whole story of the extra benefit you get from electric power. And I'm not talking about, you know, saving the planet and fuel costs. You see, the petrol engine you can get in this car has 3 cylinders, and 3-cylinder engines tend to vibrate quite a bit because they have an even number of pistons. And electric motors don't vibrate at all, they're completely smooth. And that kind of brings me on to the fact that there is something good about electric cars, especially in cheaper vehicles if they can make them cheap enough, like this car. In the past, the difference between something like an entry-level car, like a Citroen C3 with its small engine, and you compare that to how smooth an internal combustion engine and gearbox could be from something like a Rolls-Royce. Massive, massive gap between them. However, this C3, in the way it puts down its power through its electric motor and the way it's just smooth to drive, is actually no different to the Rolls-Royce Spectre. And that's a car that's like £300,000. That's the beauty of electric vehicles. They're just smooth. They may be homogeneous, but it means that for the cheaper end of the market, you're getting pretty much the smoothness and quietness of a high-end luxury vehicle. And of course, if you have the petrol version of this car, it's manual only. So you're messing around with gears in town, clutches, it's all a bit juddery, whereas this you can just focus on driving. And right now, I've got to drive that way, so I need to do a U-turn, and the turning circle on this is good. It's 10.6 metres. But I am causing chaos. We're all going to have to figure it out. Let's everyone just chill. Oh, let's make it round. So easy. So easy. So easy. Look at that. Good. Oh, steering actually really helped me there. It's nice and light in town. Another thing I like is the suspension on this car. You know, I was mentioning a Rolls-Royce. For the budget end of the market, Citroen is like the Rolls-Royce in terms of how it deals with bumps. They're really good at suspension. In fact, I think in the past, Rolls-Royce used to use Citroen suspension on their cars. Citroen know how to make comfy cars, and this new C3 is no exception. Really, really good over bumps, especially at lower speeds. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But is the rest of the experience of being inside this car a lovely experience? Do you know what? In terms of the interior design, it does. It's a very interesting looking car. There's lots of different layers and levels and textures to the dash, and it's got quirkiness to it. How's this for French quirkiness? There's like this little bit there. Like, I thought that was for controlling the vents, but it doesn't move. I thought this was a big vent. It's not. It's just design. C'est très bon. I also like the fact that the digital driver's display is nice and clear. It's almost like a semi heads-up display. Now, I know some people prefer to look through the steering wheel, but I think that's absolutely fine. I'll tell you what's also fine. Citroen has managed to make the interior of a car look kind of not cluttered, yet still have physical climate control buttons. You don't have to do it through the screen. Look, fan there, nice and easy to get to. Temperature, nice and easy to get to. Shortcuts for like demissing, nice and easy to get to. Not delving around in menus. And that brings you on to the infotainment system. Kind of simple, like stuck on the dash affair, pretty much in your line of sight. That's good. It's reasonably responsive. The menus are just so easy to understand and to cycle through. No messing around in kind of like lots of different icons and confusion like a BMW iDrive system. Dead easy. And of course, you're going to use your phone anyway. So you've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I'm using Android Auto, and it's just simple, nice. I like it. I also like the oddly shaped steering wheel. It's very Citroen. I'm not so sure about this though. Why have they put a USB port there? Look, can you just put your phone there? It's just gonna like just fall off there, isn't it? And then there's another one down here. It doesn't quite fit your phone. I haven't thought that through, have they? You do have wireless charging there though, so that, I guess that's fine. One thing that is a bit curious though, brand new car this, yet we have an old-fashioned style. I'm going to put the key in the ignition and then I'm going to twist it to start it. I like that rather than keyless go, because then I know where my keys are. They're there. There's a place for them to keep your keys. It's there. However, I'm old and I'm used to that kind of thing because I grew up with cars that did that. Jack over there, who helps on our shoots, would you rather have keyless go?
Yes, definitely.
I'm just an old person. But because I'm an old person, I have had a lot of experience with cars, and so that gives me the ability to grade the quality of the interior of a car. So let's do that now. If you're changing your car, then you've got to check out carwow, because there's nothing quite like knowing that you're getting a great price, both when selling your old car and finding a new one. Carwow makes all the stuff that's hard work about car changing, like the haggling, the no-shows, and the nasty surprises, a thing of the past, life-changing. Now, if you want to go to carwow right now, I'll put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment. Alternatively, you can click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now, or scan the QR code on screen using your mobile phone to go directly there. Car change, carwow. Let's go POV for this bit. So one of the tests for quality on a car is how the doors sound when you shut them. So let's do this, back door. They usually sound quite tinny. That's not too bad. Way better than a Toyota Yaris Cross. Let's try the front. Oh, that's weighty and sounds quite good. The only thing that's a bit cheap feeling is that, the sound that makes. Other than that, not bad at all. Now let's just check the interior quality of the trim. So that's all scratchy plastics. This is leatherette down here, though it has no padding really. So when you put your elbow on it when you're driving, it's not very comfortable. Moving to the dash, that's all scratchy material. Shiny black plastic down there, probably scratch a little bit. Once again, scratchy materials. Doesn't feel expensive, but it doesn't feel cheap either. And it's not wobbly, really. That's all fine. It's solid enough. The seat material, maybe a bit rough, but I'm okay with it overall. But I'm not sure about this. Why is it that there is no light for the vanity mirror? That is a bit cheap. And that brings on to 5 annoying things about this car. This rear pillar creates a terrible blind spot. Look, when you're trying to look over your shoulder, it just completely disappeared. It's not all though. The rear view mirror actually extends quite far down the windscreen, so you only really have this gap to look through. Oh, I've disappeared again. That is not great. You get this horrendous noise if you dare to open the door and the car doesn't have its parking brake on. Even if you've got your foot on the brake and it's in park. Listen to this. Oh, it's horrible. Also, some of the other noises and warning beeps and bongs in this car are a bit odd. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. See what I mean? Unlike some other electric cars, this doesn't have one pedal drive, so when you lift off the accelerator, the car won't come to a complete stop. So you do have to press the brakes. Also, many other electric cars have a button down here called B. You press that and it increases the amount of regen braking, so it slows more aggressively when you lift off the accelerator. So you have a bit more control for semi one pedal driving. This one though has a C button for comfort. So what that does is just dull the throttle response. You're never going to press it. The reach adjustment in the steering wheel isn't that much, look. That's all you get. It's a shower, not a grower. This car's range on a full charge is 199 miles, which isn't loads, and it's going to be worse in winter because that's always the case with electric cars. And this will probably be slightly worse than a BYD Dolphins. You see, that car has a heat pump which can improve efficiency, especially in cold weather. This doesn't have a heat pump. Citroen didn't bother. If you want to check out a review of the BYD Dolphin, click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or scan the QR code on screen now with your mobile phone if you're watching on smart TV. Anyway, there's something else slightly annoying about this car. You see, with this electric version of the C3, the batteries are underneath the floor. That means you don't have such deep footwells as the internal combustion engine version. As a result, your knees are slightly high when you're sat down, like there's less under thigh support. Still, it's reasonably comfy back here, so the front seats are raised up so you can just squeeze your feet underneath. Knee room for me is fine. Headroom is actually very, very good. I also like the ambience back here, like the two-tone. It's nice. Do the back windows go all the way down? I bet they don't. Not quite. Yeah, I'm good at this game, aren't I? But if you look down here, you have two USB-Cs and one 12-volt socket. So 3 people could charge their phones in the back at once. Speaking of which, let's check out what it's like with 3 people in the back. So come on then, Jack. Come and join me. Okay, bear in mind this is like a small size car. We are sort of fitting, and normally what you have with these cars is, because shoulder room is tight, which it is in this car, the people in the outer seats get pushed sideways. But look, even tall Jack there, he's got enough headroom. Look, many cars, like this part of the roof, like arcs in, so it's no good at all with 3 people in the back. But let's check out knee room, because Lewis is longer of leg than me, and look, you've got enough knee room, and Jack is extremely long of leg. Look, and he's okay as well. So 3 in the back at once, it's okay. But what about when it comes to fitting a baby seat? First off, I'm not a big fan of ISOFIX anchor points which are concealed by zips. Then you have to like fish about inside there to actually find the anchor point, but let's give it a go. So the door, it's not the widest opening, as you can see. Struggling to get this in a little bit, and okay, come on then, let's see if I'm right about these ISOFIX anchor points. See, already I'm like, how do I get into that hole? Struggle to get into the hole. Oh, have I found the spot? It's always, even when you're in the hole, it's blooming hard to find the special spot. Ah! Hell. Admittedly, you're probably only going to do this once, but let's say you're moving the seat in and out of cars like I do. Ah! Yes, bag. Where are the seats? Where is it? I can't even get my finger in there to like find exactly where it is. Right, I'm just going to strap this in with a blooming seat belt. I can't be bothered. I'm going to move on. Let's find out if there's enough space for a rear facing seat to have it facing backwards. Yeah, so that's fine. Oh, hello. Hello. We're in. I just need to do that. I think I'm an idiot. Anyway, will the baby be comfortable? Probably. But what's comfort like for the driver? Time to find out. You see, when you're cruising at higher speeds, it's reasonably relaxing, this car. There's not much road noise. Bit of wind noise from around here, but I'm only really noticing that thing because it's electric, and so otherwise it's dead quiet. There is one thing that's less relaxing about this car, and it's the fact that electric cars, there's always a bit of range anxiety. So this car's supposed to have 199 miles of range, but we've done some maths based on remaining battery and how much mileage it's got left out of the battery. Reckon it's doing about 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour rather than the claimed 4.5, and that means that the real world range is going to be about 150, 160 miles on a full charge. So if you have to do regular long distances, you could get into a bit of squeaky bum time, and you'd be better off with the petrol version where you're not worrying about range and you can fill it up that quickly. What's also interesting is that in C3s of the past, I remember the brakes being grabby. Now, electric cars can sometimes have grabbier brakes than internal combustion engine cars because you have the first part of the braking is actually recouping energy and putting it back in the battery. However, this car, the braking feels very natural and better than the braking on old internal combustion engine C3s from the past. However, where this is way better than the petrol is pick up on the motorway. So 40 miles an hour, accelerate, and off we go. No changing gears, and I'm telling you, this is picking up quicker than the petrol version will. And there we are, as signified by the diddle-diddle. Yeah, shut up now, shut up! Shut up. Bloody hell. Mind you do get on the petrol version as well, it's just regulations and stuff. And in fact, there's another way where really there's no disadvantage to having this electric car compared to the petrol version. Unlike some other electric cars which are also sold as petrol cars, the EC3's boot capacity is the same as the 1.2 litre petrols at 310 litres, which is reasonable enough. However, things are pretty basic back here. There's no features, and that means you've got a huge load lip because there's no false floor. Oh, so it's a real pain to lift stuff over. Oh, bloody hell, what are you carrying in there, Lewis? Camera kit, I know, which I've probably just broken. Anyhow, it does mean then that, look, you've got your cables just loose in the boot, and there's other cost-saving measures such as look, boing, boing, but it kind of damps it, so it works, it's all fine. Let me just get rid of this. Obviously there's no place to store the load cover, but it's very light, which means it should fly extremely well. I haven't done that for a while. It's inexpensive. If I need to replace it, I can afford it. I'll put it on expenses though. Right. Now, when you fold down the seats, oh God, grab your headrest. Look, because there's no false floor, you get this huge lip there, so it's a pain to push heavier items to the front of the car. But, you know, overall, it's reasonably practical for a small car. Let's check out the other storage solutions in this vehicle, shall we? For this bit, we're going to go POV again. Hello. So we're going to do a full-on bottle test, and Jack there is loaded up with bottles to help me out. So we're going to stick a bottle in every single place that we can. Let's go for it then, Jack. So give us a big bottle, which will fit in. Look, here we go. The door bin. Look, that's big enough. Let's have some more bottles. Keep them coming, Jack. Let's keep them coming. Right, we're going to go down here into there. Let's have another one. Let's go underneath the armrest. Should point this out. Look, armrest. Come on, do it. Do it. Don't let me down, armrest. Yeah, you slide, don't you? There we go. Come another bottle, please. Thank you. Let's put one in there. Let's have another one. And let's put that down in there as well. Let's go into the glove box now. Yeah, there's plenty of room for bottles in the glove box. Right, is there anywhere I've missed? Oh yeah, this side. Can I have another bottle, please? Right, let's just go into this door. Obviously, you can fit quite a lot in there. Let's now go into the back. So, Jack, let's start off by going for a bottle into this door bin. Can I have another one, please? Let's put one here. Right, another one. I wonder if that'll fit in there. That's actually meant for your mobile phone. Oh, there we go. Another one. Right. Jack's run out of bottles. We've still got spaces to fill. Look, there and there. But I have to say, there are lots of places where you can stick bottles, if that's your thing. And that actually brings me on to 5 cool things about the new Citroen C3. I blooming hate all the safety regulations and beeps and bongs and stuff like that, but at least Citroen has given you 2 shortcut buttons to turn some of that annoying off. There's one here for the speed limit warning, so turn that off. Lane departure warning. Thank God, it's just easy. Yes, it defaults to on when you drive, but it's so easy to just turn off. Physical buttons not buried in a menu somewhere. Thank you, Citroen, you understand our pain. The C3 is fitted with hydraulic bump stops on its suspension. Now, bump stops cushion the last part of the suspension travel. Now, normalised rubber ones, it can be a bit harsh. It's a bit like, you know, the suspension hitting the end of its travel. It's a bit like that. However, with hydraulic fluid helping cushion the suspension in the bump stop, it's more like this. Ah, nice and soft and comfortable. Citroen says they've fitted extra padding to the seat bases to make them super comfortable as well. And do you know what? They are very comfortable. Kind of want to knead them like a cat. It's hot in there. To help keep the cost down, there will be a version of the EC3 available with a smaller battery that can only do 125 miles. Still won't be the cheapest EV on sale. That will remain the Dacia Spring. You'll also be able to get a hybrid version as well. Wait a minute. It's a bit odd, look. This is like khaki colour under here. Has this car had a dodgy respray or something? If you have the Citroen app on your phone, you can actually do e-routing, which will direct you using the navigation via chargers so that you always have enough charge to get to your destination. However, I can't be asked to download the app to show you. This car's going back soon. And anyway, I use Google Maps, but you might find it handy. However, what happens if your e-routing takes you via a twisty road? Let's find out. Obviously, this car's been set up with comfort in mind, not sportiness. So all I want from it is to be acceptable as I put it through some bends. Just needs to not fall over or run wide or do anything weird. So let's find out. Yeah, perfectly fine. And that's really all you need to know. It does lean a bit as you tip it into a bend, but it grips, goes where you steer it, you know, nothing untoward, actually decent. And what's also decent is that the soft suspension kind of works in its favour on bad British roads. You see, sometimes cars that are set up for a sporty drive can skip around when there's bumps and imperfections in the road. This, though, with its soft suspension, it just kind of like manages it all. You know, like when you're skiing and you're going over the moguls and you've got your legs all kind of floppy and stuff like that, and you just kind of ride them out. That's what this car does. And it means that if it's got its tyres always in contact with the ground, then it's always gripping, which is good. However, if you do want an affordable EV that does have a sporty feel to it, check out an MG4, their rear wheel drive. And to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there, or just scan the QR code using your phone. If you're watching on smart TV, you can watch that video. That does, though, bring me on to my final verdict on this car. If you want to see what is my very favourite version of the new Citroen C3, I've actually configured one through CarWow, so click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the QR code on screen now if you're watching on a smart TV, and you'll see what I think is the best trim and motor combination. Plus, you can see how much you can save on it through CarWow. Anyway, my final verdict on this car: should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, if you want a really good, all-round, affordable EV, just go right ahead and buy the Citroen C3. I think it's rather good. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Click on the video windows for some more videos and on the CarWow logo to see how much you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.